friend of mine wrote an article about. I'll just be frank about what it's about. It's about, do we really want to be in nation building projects in the Middle East right now? Do we really want to take on the Iran project? Like, if we do oust that regime, what are we dealing with? What have we learned? Are there any lessons we've learned about this?
Yeah.
And so he calls it into question about just the idea that, hey, we'll just knock them out and then
Then
it'll
we'll
be
go in
easy
there.
after
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, okay, well, that's interesting, right? And he also is one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. And he's Iranian. So he would be the guy to write that article. And so he posts it. I saw one of the tweets underneath the post where he like posted a link to his article for this European publication, but it's like, dude, you're an idiot.
Please tell me it said, dude.
It's like this. No, it didn't say, dude. It's just like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
But it's just like, this guy's an intellectual of first rank. Even the people who don't agree with him admit it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's tough to pin him down on a lot of, like, he'll aggravate people just because he's so independently minded.
Yeah.
But like, one thing he's not is an idiot.
Yeah.
But the idea that gets thrown around, we see this all the time, even among Christians. They'll be like, the idiots. It can be anything.
Yeah.
You use a label instead of engaging the argument.
That's right.
Well, we're not supposed to do that as Christians.
Right.
It could be libtard, or it could be you're a racist, or like, that's the only reason you would do that is you're misogynist.
Yeah.
The only reason you would do that is because you're or this, like, you don't understand the argument. But calling somebody an idiot, or like just putting a label on somebody, we're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
A pejorative label. We're not supposed to do that.
Right.
Now, there's descriptive adjectives that could be accurate, like about an idea.
Yes.
But that's just everywhere, and I see that on so many, like even like the Babylon Bee people. I think the Babylon Bee's gotten funnier over time. It used to not be funny to me, but now I think it is. And but that your mileage may vary. That's fine. But like those guys, like if you want to mock ideas, fine.
Right.
But then if you're going to write something and call someone a name, and you're doing this as a believer, I'm off that train. That's contemptuous.
It is, and I think that that's where am learning, but over the last several years have really had to learn that if I start to hear that if I'm engaging with someone and I start to hear that, any of that language about me or about any ideas, name calling, or any labels that aren't what I call kingdom language.
Right.
If the language is coming from the culture that isn't the kingdom, then I shut the conversation down, because we're not talking. No. That's not me trying to make myself superior or anything like that. It just means that conversation is not going to be fruitful.
Right. Totally agree.
We're not going to go anywhere with that conversation. And I've learned to, quite frankly, as I've gotten older, to just conserve my energy. Yeah. So it is when names and labels and things like that, to me, that goes back to I'm starting to use, and I'm talking about myself. When I hear it come out of my mouth, I know I've been in the culture too much.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So this is the thing. I just think it should send up a warning signal to us. Like Sherry's just saying, like 4 years ago, somebody like the idiot in the White House. Okay, if you're a believer, I don't respect that. Right now, the idiot in the White House. Okay, if you're a believer, I don't respect that.
Yeah.
Wait, like the pejorative. Jesus said, if you call somebody a fool, well, we can get all legalistic about it and say, well, he said raka, so I can't say raka. Well, the whole point is the contempt that reduces someone who has the image of God into this contemptible thing. Like that's blasphemous,
right?
Because you're taking something that's transcendent in a way, like God's image on us,
right? And
then boiling it down to that person is again. This doesn't make all ideas the same. It doesn't mean that there's not real evil in the world. It's the contemptuous.
It means, if as a believer, that person that I do not agree with, that I think is 1,000% wrong, is there a difference the way I engage and treat that person then the non-believer engages and treats that person.
Right, exactly.
If not, then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So it's not me saying that person is right. It's not me saying that person believes right things. I can still say they are evil, they're operating in evil, but is the way I engage and the way I treat them different than the non-believer who still thinks they're evil and all that? If not, then I don't know what we're doing.
What are we doing? Yeah. And if that's you and you're like, oh, I don't like this because I do that. Okay, so we all learn stuff. I got stuff I got to learn too. But now would be a time to go, oh, you know what? I need to learn in this area.
Oh, and listen, let me tell you something. I'm not speaking from a mountaintop here. This is it's a daily struggle. So please don't think I'm
so what
preaching.
Sherry's saying, she works with me, and the word idiot pops into her head.
I'm not saying that. I am not saying that.
5 minutes.
I am saying
the word idiot. I can't shake
that
it.
is not what I'm saying. I'm saying every day we're inundated with things that make us feel like God.
I know, right?
It's a struggle. It is a struggle,
Yeah.
and things hit you, and you feel like people are contemptuous towards you, and we know what Christ has called us to be and do.
So here's a chance to live without contempt. You can do this. You can learn this. This is becoming more like Jesus. That's the wonderful thing about this. Like, if I'm going to reduce you to you're an idiot, that's what was so funny about this article. The response to this article. It's like, did you read? No, you didn't read the thing. But it was like just the level of discourse versus.
That's where all discourse has landed. Dummy. Okay, we're back in seventh. Right. We're in seventh grade again. All right.
Because again, you're taking something big and making it really little.
Right.
And that's contemptuous when it comes to something beautiful like a human being. And this is not naivete about the brokenness of humans, believe me. But it's just like that's what Jesus is getting at. And if you take out contempt, your life will get better.
It will.
And if we took out contempt as a culture, people wouldn't be murdered.
Yeah.
Like, so that's where Jesus is going. Don't pat yourself on the back. Well, I don't kill people like these idiots. Okay. All right. But where does this start?
Yeah.
And he's so genius to cut right to the heart of it. That's the problem. That's where all of this starts.